Terence Crawford vs. Canelo Alvarez is set to be the biggest fight of the year in September 2025, and Floyd Mayweather has just stepped in with a major warning that could change everything. Finally, after months of drama, rumors, and pure chaos, Turkey Alalshik has announced that Canelo Alvarez vs. Terence Crawford will happen in September 2025. And guess what? It will take place at Las Vegas's Allegiant Stadium, which is the right place for a fight this big. If you thought that Canelo vs. Terence would be a fight full of mutual respect, you were very wrong. These two fighters were very angry with each other, and it all came to a head at the Saudi airport.
My response to Turkey is this. Yesterday, they text me. They text me and say, we can talk about the fight in February with Crawford. Yeah. They text me yesterday, and I say, look, I'm not gonna talk about any other fight. I'm focused 100% on this fight. Look, I don't like the way he talk, and I'm not in this position because of any. I'm in this position if he wants to work with me, it's in my way, not in their way.
What was
I don't need it.
What didn't you like about how he approached? Like, what was
It's not the way to approach. It's not the way to approach to me. Look, I respect everybody and I respect Turkey, but look, if he wants to work with me, it need to be in my way.
The two undisputed champions were supposed to meet with Turkey Alalshik to finish plans for their fight in September, but there was trouble at the airport before they even got there. When Canelo met Terence Crawford, he didn't even give him a proper handshake. He was hoping for some light conversation, that's right. Bud greeted Canelo, but he just walked right past him like he wasn't there. Now, people who know Terence Crawford know that he won't let that go. The man fights with pride, and if you disrespect him, you better be ready for the results, so Crawford didn't back down. He walked right up to Canelo, clearly ready to address the situation. But instead of talking things out like pros, Canelo escalated the situation fast. Reports say he got up in Crawford's face, hands clenched, looking like he was about to throw down then and there. At this point, their teams had to jump in before things got out of control. Security rushed over, trying to keep the two champions from turning the airport into an impromptu fight venue. And just like that, what was supposed to be a routine business trip nearly turned into a full-blown brawl before the real fight even got revealed. Now, where does Floyd Mayweather come into all this Middle Eastern drama? Well, let's just say Money Mayweather has been real tight with Terence Crawford ever since this fight was announced.
I keep bringing up Canelo. I think that's weird, you know, because you'd have to gain like, what, 20 pounds?
Yeah.
But they say that's the money fight. That's the mega fight. That's the money fight. That's the only thing that makes sense with Terence Crawford.
Well, you know what I mean? Catch weight. You can do something at a catch weight.
What weight you think?
I like 160.
So you said 154 is the highest you want to go.
Yeah, 158. 60 average.
Word on the street is Floyd's even been helping Bud improve his skills for the big fight, giving him that undefeated champion level game plan.
Hold me back.
And when this whole airport incident went down, Floyd was one of the first to sound the warning. The headlines were already swirling, but Mayweather made it clearly clear that even though Terence isn't a newbie, he needs to take Canelo Alvarez more seriously than any opponent he's ever faced. And let's be real, coming from Floyd, that's a serious wake-up call. Mayweather knows exactly what it takes to beat Canelo, given he handed him his only official loss.
But I know how you is. You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep it real, boy, keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fight.
Yeah.
I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll beat this.
But you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd. Nah.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, I'll beat his ass. Never. That's some hate type shit to me.
Yeah, like platinum.
Yeah, I ain't never been.
But Floyd isn't sugarcoating anything. He's giving Terence an urgent warning. He's saying this isn't just another fight. This is legacy defining. This is dangerous. And if Bud isn't 110% locked in, things could go south real quick. Mayweather's been there, done that, and he's basically telling Crawford, "Look, I know you're great, but this is Canelo. You slip up even once, it's game over." And honestly, Floyd might have a point. Mayweather didn't hold back. He took to social media and said, "Terence is a great fighter, but you don't just move up to weight classes and fight Canelo unless you know exactly what you're doing. This sport is about smart moves, not just big ones." This is a wake-up call for Terence.
The others say like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like once he gets touched by Canelo, it's gonna be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's gonna slow down, you know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo have, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean? So,
But here's where things get really interesting. Not only did Canelo snub Crawford, but he allegedly told his team afterward that he's not giving but any respect until they step into the ring. He sees Crawford as just another challenger, someone beneath him. And if you thought but was heated before, now he's coming into this fight with dad plans.
Looking great. Thank you. I will come to it. Looking great. Thank you. I will come to it.
By the time they reached Turki Alalshik's home, the tension was thick. Turki, being the businessman he is, had to play referee. Photos emerged of him posing with both fighters, and while they tried to look professional, you could just feel the energy in the room. Neither man was smiling, and neither man looked relaxed, and you know that means war is coming. With September locked in as the fight month, this beef is finally at dangerous levels. Crawford is moving up to weight classes to face Canelo, and many have questioned if he can handle the power difference, but with the way he's fired up now, he might just turn this into the fight of his life.
Let me tell you what I think should be gone. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jermell Charlo already proved that. Y'all remember that scene from Rocky? Remember that scene from Rocky 2? When Carl Weathers was Apollo Creed and his trainer was like, "Can I be honest? I saw you beat this man within an inch of his life." And he kept coming. He wouldn't go away. He's wrong for us, baby. He's wrong. Let it go. Apollo couldn't do it and lost fight number 2. Trained him for fight Rocky 3, and then got killed in Rocky 4 by Drago because he couldn't let it go. Bud Crawford needs to let it go. Too small.
Now Canelo isn't meeting Bud next. First, he's set to fight William Spell on May 3rd to reclaim his undisputed super middleweight crown. Some fans are side-eyeing this move, calling it a warm-up fight. But here's the thing. If Canelo walks into the Crawford fight having all 4 titles at 168 pounds, it just makes the showdown even bigger.
What do you think of Crawford saying you want to move up to 68 and fight the winner of Canelo Charlo at 68?
I commend them for it. That's it takes a lot of balls to do it. A lot of courage, but it also takes, more importantly, it takes believing in yourself. So I commend Crawford for it.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the weight difference. Crawford's never fought at 168 before, and this is a big 14 pounds jump from his last fight. A lot of people are worried that Bud might be biting off more than he can chew. But let's not forget Canelo started his career at welterweight, the same class where Bud became undisputed.
I can't go down anymore. But you know, like he say, you know, when they ask him for the Germonta fight, they don't wanna get credit for that fight. It's the same for me. I don't need to take that fight because everybody's gonna say it's too small, it's too small, it's too small, and then, you know, he need to enjoy his fight. Okay, he deserve it. He deserve it. I like Spence, but you know, I like Spence and all the respect for him and everything. But I knew. I think is the type of fight Terence Crawford is fighter is different. Went 68, but like I say, like he say, nobody's gonna give me credit for that.
Thank you very much.
If there's anyone who knows the recipe to take down Canelo Alvarez, it's Floyd Mayweather. And let's be real, Terence Crawford couldn't have gone to a better person for the plan. Floyd is the only man to have officially beaten Canelo. He didn't just beat him, he schooled him for 12 straight rounds back in 2013. Now sure, Canelo was young, but the lessons from that fight, they still apply today. And Ronnie Shields, a top tier trainer, just laid it all out. If Crawford wants to take down Canelo, he needs to follow Floyd's lead. Shields isn't worried about the weight difference like everybody else. He knows that boxing isn't just about power, it's about IQ, footwork, and control. And guess what? That's exactly how Floyd beat Canelo. He didn't let Canelo dictate the pace. He stepped in, landed his shots, and stepped out. Before Canelo could even react, he forced Canelo to constantly reset, never letting him find his rhythm. That's exactly what Bud needs to do. Shields broke it down nicely. Crawford has to stay loose, stay moving, and never be a fixed target.
Because I know you were about 17, 18 at the time when Floyd Mayweather fought Arturo Gatti. I'm just curious, did you watch that fight?
Of course, I still watch it.
Right, because it was that kind of. Because I'm asking because when you fought Ndongo at 140, you looked really great that night too. Same weight class Floyd that we fought Gatti.
Right.
Not asking hypothetical who would win, but do you think that night you were right there with Floyd on the night he fought Gatti?
Of course, I'm always thinking that I'm on a higher level than a lot of people give me credit. It's just me with the confidence that I have in myself.
Being that he was the previous pound-for-pound king before you, does he get a little more attention than other great fighters from you when it came to studying him on the way up? Or?
Of course.
What'd you take from him?
It was my era. You know, the whole hit and not get hit, and to make the adjustments that he's made to certain fighters. You know, he's the king.
So, do you think you guys got a lot in common?
In some aspects, yeah.
How are you guys different?
We both box. I think, you know, I take more chances.
Excuse me, Crawford.
You know, right now. But earlier in his career, he was taking a lot of chances as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it just depends on which Floyd Mayweather you talk about. You talk about money, or do you talk about Pretty Boy? Because Pretty Boy was the seek and destroy fighter.
You're more like Pretty Boy, probably, right?
Right. But then, you know, he started having hand injuries, so he couldn't really keep up with the same, you know.
And the crazy part is Canelo suffers against that style. We saw it against Bivol in 2022 when Canelo couldn't cut the ring off. He got angry and started swinging wild. Bivol exposed that weakness, but Floyd mastered that approach. And now he's passing that knowledge down to Crawford.
Yo, yeah, so if he was pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me.
Oh, shit, okay, I'm just asking. Floyd was pound for pound before.
That would have been a hard fucking fight, though.
Man, me versus anybody, I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
Mayweather's been in Bud's corner ever since this fight was announced, helping him prepare. And after seeing how serious Canelo is taking this, Floyd is personally telling Bud that he cannot afford to slip up, not even for a second. Canelo Alvarez might be one of the biggest stars in boxing, but even he knows that when it comes to meeting Terence Crawford, the stakes are completely different. And let's be real, Canelo didn't just wake up one day and decide to take this fight. No, this was a calculated move. He knew that if he dodged Crawford, the boxing world would never let him live it down.
Canelo running from Benavides. What is that? I mean, imagine if I ever ran from anybody. Like, did I run from somebody in my career? No. Did Chavez run from somebody in his career? No. Chavez was 87-0. Imagine that. So to me, that's the all-time greatest fighter.
But at the same time, he understood the risk. That's why he's not diving into the deep end right away. Instead, he's taking a strategic detour with William Skull first, almost like a warm-up before the real fight. But let's call it what it is. This isn't just about staying busy. This is about stalling. See, Canelo is no fool. He remembers what happened to Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, and even Gervonta Davis when they looked too far ahead, made one wrong move, One unexpected upset, and suddenly, their entire reputation was in question. And Canelo, he's not about to let that happen. That's why he's treating Crawford like a later problem, not a right-now problem. He wants to buy himself time, maybe even study Bud's style a little more before going into the fire.
The likelihood of a fight with you and Terence Crawford would be one of the biggest in boxing.
We don't talking about yet about the fight. Me and Tukash know each other, and then we wanna see what happens.
And when do you want to get out next? I know you're here in London tonight. When are you going to be in a camp?
Huh?
When are you going to be in a camp? I know you're
in camp. Training camp in March.
Okay, so
at the beginning of the middle of the February or March. Yeah.
And there you have it. Floyd Mayweather isn't just talking. He's giving a straight-up warning to Terence Crawford. Canelo Alvarez is no joke, and whatever just went down has only made things more intense. But will Ben actually listen to Floyd's advice, or will he take his own route and try to shock the world? One thing's for sure, this fight is shaping up to be one of the biggest chess matches in boxing history.
Terence Crawford couldn't have an error to himself. And if you put Terence Crawford against any opponent on Floyd's resume, who do you have favored? Terence Crawford or one of Floyd's opponents?
Why does Ryan keep mentioning another?
No, I'm asking the question first. Do we got Terence Bud Crawford beating everybody on Floyd's resume?
What do you think? Is Floyd right to be worried, or is Crawford too skilled to be rattled? Drop your ideas in the comments, and if you're hyped for this showdown, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single update. I'll see you in the next one.